Hello, friends. It's Miles here. Bob is alongside me. Hi, Bob.
Hello, Miles. Hello, friends.
And welcome back to A Game of No Halves, the podcast where we explore Bob's crazy world of his fictitious football team. And last time we left Bob, it's an exciting episode today because it was the end of the 2009-2010 season last time, wasn't it?
Yes, and
so
we now
into
move into the World Club Championship.
The World Club Championship. This is very exciting. So we've got all this to come this episode. It's a World Club Championship special,
yes,
which I'm very excited about. But have you been in the meantime since last episode,
I've been
Bob?
fine.
Yep.
Been gigging.
Yes.
Travelling the motorways, the highways and byways of Britain. Miles.
Yeah, I know. Lots of driving, it sounds like.
Yeah. But no, we're here and it's good and the weather's been gorgeous.
It has, yeah.
I'm actually in the T-shirt.
It's lovely today, yeah. Where have I been the last couple of weeks? I was at the World Snooker Championship final.
Yes.
That was fun. Shot it on black and white film and I was featured at the start of the broadcast on BBC Two.
I saw that. It was cool. So lovely.
Yeah, it was. They did a really nice job at the piece, actually.
Did.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a frantic shoot, to be honest, because I was there. It was the first day, because the final goes over 2 days. So it was the first day, and I was there obviously all day until the end of the evening session, it finishes quite late. I think it finished 10 p.m, maybe a bit later than that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they needed the film photos by 9 a.m. the following morning to get the edit ready for the live broadcast the following day. So I took all of my film developing stuff and developed everything backstage at the Crucible on site.
Wow.
Which was really fun, actually, and it came out really nicely.
Yes,
so,
it did. It came out beautifully.
Had a lovely time.
And the package, because I tuned in, Miles texted me to say that this was happening.
Yeah.
So I missed it live. So I went on to BBC iPlayer, and as you can, I just rewound it to the beginning of the show. And there was this lovely collection of your photographs. It was so skillfully
They sort of
edited.
interspersed it with footage from the game and behind the scenes shots of me loading the rolls and developing the film. It was great. Yeah. So very good. So Bob, I don't know whether I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I have come across a fun sort of trend on TikTok.
Okay.
Which I'm going to introduce to the show, I think, because we've had the Premier League goal scorers quiz that we've been doing for the last few weeks, which we'll continue with this episode. But
I like that. I enjoy it. Except I'm getting it all wrong.
Well,
I'm absolutely hammering. You're hammering
me. 4-0 right now, isn't it? I think.
Is it?
Something like that. Well, we won't touch on that. Anyway, so here's a little segment that I'd like to introduce to the start of the episodes, Bob.
Okay.
Which is Football Pointless. Okay. So you know the quiz show on BBC Pointless. You've done it before.
I've been on Pointless a number of times. Yeah.
So you might have the upper hand here in that case. If
Chris Difford and I formed a lethal partnership. Got to the semi-finals.
Oh well, there you go.
And dear Janice Long, I did it with Janice as well.
Oh, R.I.P. Janice, what a ledge. But yeah, so I thought it might be quite fun. So basically, there's a football account, TFB Mystery Shirt Box.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming they send out boxes of mystery football shirts to people. But one of the things they've started doing on their TikTok, which I really like, is a Football Pointless. So for those that haven't watched Pointless before, the point of the game is that you get given a category and you have to come up with an answer. Basically, that question is asked to 100 members of the general public.
Yes.
And you have to come up with an answer that is correct, but the least amount of people have guessed.
Yes.
So if you get a pointless answer, which means it's a correct answer and nobody else thought of it, then you get the aim of the game is to get as little points as possible.
Yes.
If you get an incorrect answer, you get 100 points, don't you?
That's
obviously,
right.
A pointless
you're
answer
sort of
zero.
out.
Yeah, and then the points then are tallied up by how many other people, if you get the correct answer or one of the correct answers, how many other people said it. So if it's a popular correct answer, then you get a lot of points. And the aim of the game is to be the lowest points possible. So Bob.
Yes.
I guess we're doing me versus you, shall we, for this as well? Or do you want to just do we can see how many you get?
Well, with current form as it is, Miles, and me trailing hopelessly in your wake, maybe we should form a partnership on this.
Okay, fine. I tell you what we should do. We can form a partnership.
Yes.
And then we can play against the listeners and the watchers. So
if
you're listening and watching at home, play along, and on socials, on Twitter and Instagram, everything like that, give us a follow at A Game of No Halves. Or if you're watching on YouTube right now, and if you're not doing that, we put the full video episodes out on YouTube as well. Again, just search for A Game of No Halves.
I have to say, by the way, that there's been a sort of best of funny moments from the podcast so far that Irene has posted. I mean, it's hilarious.
I know, we can be quite funny sometimes, can't we?
Even I'm thinking, wait, is this for real?
Yeah.
You wait till you hear about the World Club Championship. That really does push the anorakness of this whole project to the max.
It does. Right, so I'm going to open up a note on my phone of pointless, and we're going to keep track of our score. So, play along at home. This is the first question for football pointless, then, Bob.
Right.
So we've got to come up with a good answer between us. The first question is:
Yes.
French players who have scored 20 or more goals for AC Milan.
Ooh, wow.
So, I mean, obviously, in recent times, Olivier Giroud would fall into that category, I assume.
Yes.
20 goals.
I'm stumped by the question immediately, personally.
Well, French players, I think Jeremy Menez played for AC Milan for a bit. Whether he scored 20 goals, though, I'm not sure.
Off into,
yeah, Giroud seems like an obvious one.
Does it? I don't know. I've no idea about this.
Okay. Well, I'll take the bat on here.
Okay.
This is what playing video games like FIFA is really good for, because you get to learn, especially through Ultimate Team, the nationalities of players who've played for like clubs and stuff like that. Yeah, Jeremy Menez definitely played for them for a bit, and I feel like he would have scored 20 goals. I'm sure we're missing some really obvious ones here. Mexes was a centre back who played for them, but I don't think he would have scored 20, or would he have done? He scored one of the best.
You're on your own here, Ross.
He scored one of the best bicycle kick goals ever. Philippe Mexes.
Okay.
Chested it down and like bicycle kicked it from the edge of the area. He might have scored 20 goals, but was he there for long enough?
No idea.
They've got Teo Hernandez now. He plays left back, but I don't think he wouldn't have scored 20 goals. I'm gonna lock in. Giroud is right, but I think that's going to be a popular choice. So I'm going to lock in Jeremy Menez.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, go for it, Mars.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Olivier Giroud.
Yes.
57.
Yes.
Oh, Teo Hernandez has scored 20 goals for them. He's 42. Jeremy Menez is 16. So I feel like that's not bad. So we start off on 16.
Okay.
Other correct answers were Papin, of course. Jean-Pierre Papin.
Yes.
And Nestor Combin, who I've never heard of before in my life, who would have got you 1 point. But 16 , I feel like
got
that's
you 1 point. Did somebody know that?
One person said Nestor Combin. Who that
is.
No idea who that is.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So we start off on 16, Bob, which I think is quite a good start.
Yep.
Okay.
How many rounds are we going to do?
Let's do 3, shall we?
Okay.
So this is the second one.
Okay.
There are 7 possible correct answers to this, apparently. Players who have won the Ballon d'Or and the World Cup in the same year. So.
Right.
All right. This could be interesting.
I would say, wouldn't you?
As in Brazilian Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo could be one. Did Messi win it this year? Or has he not been... Has it not been voted for yet?
Yes.
That's an obvious one, though, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, it is.
What about somebody like Platini? Did he win the World Cup for France?
Going back. Yes, he did. And Tigana in that same midfield.
Yeah.
I think Tigana was very close to the Ballon d'Or, but I think you might be right about Platini. Yeah.
What about Puskás? Did they ever win the World Cup with... Because were Hungary good in the...
Yeah, they were. No, they were, actually. But more in the 1930s, 1950s.
Yeah, so maybe... I don't know when the Ballon d'Or became a thing.
No.
Maybe it would have been after that. Yeah, maybe... I don't know. Yeah, maybe Puskás is a bit of a push.
Yeah. A Puskás.
So Platini, Ronaldo... I guess, yeah, Messi's too obvious, though. I think Messi's going to be said by loads of people, so we should not have him in.
Yeah.
Who else has won the Ballon d'Or and could have won
trying to think of German players.
Oh, Beckenbauer.
Beckenbauer.
Yeah.
Bobby Charlton. Because I think Bobby Charlton definitely won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Whether it was in the World Cup year, which I suspect it probably was.
That's not a bad shout, is it?
Yeah.
Bobby Charlton.
I'm going to go with Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, you're going to lock in Bobby?
I'm going to lock in
All
Bobby.
right, let's do that then. Ready, Bob?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, correct answers here.
Yes.
Messi, 54.
Yes.
Ronaldo, 32.
Yes.
Zidane, 21.
Right.
Fabio Cannavaro. That is a shout.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
He's one of the only defenders ever.
Oh, my goodness,
16.
yeah, that is.
7 points, Bobby Charlton.
Yes,
Bob. That's a great shout. That is a brilliant shout.
Oh, that's great.
Lothar Matthäus, that would have been the German one on 3. And Paolo Rossi would have been pointless. Paolo Rossi, yeah.
Wow.
For Italy.
I was in Italy when Italy won the World Cup. It was absolute chaotic brilliance.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Bobby Charlton was a great shout.
Yeah.
7 points. That's good. And actually, Platini wasn't in there, so I wouldn't have got that if I'd gone for him. So Bobby Charlton it is. We're making a good team here, Bob.
Yes, we are. So one more round then?
One more round. Let's do it. Okay. Polish players who have played for Arsenal. There's a possible 4. So I think I might be able to get some of these. Chesney in goal.
Yes.
They've got one right now, Kiwior,
Okay.
who is Polish.
Right.
Who else?
Now, Closer. I know he played for
Closer was German, though.
Germany, but wasn't there a Polish German?
Podolski. But he was German, though. I think he'd go under German. But you're right. Podolski did play for Arsenal, and he's Polish heritage, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought there was something Closer had some kind of connection with Poland.
I don't think Closer played for Arsenal, though.
Well, there we are. Then. That sort of disqualifies him.
But
really,
Podolski definitely did. But I think he's got a very Polish name, isn't he, Podolski? But I'm sure he would have been under the German national team.
Yeah.
This is Fabianski.
Okay.
Lucas Fabianski.
Yes.
For West Ham now, he's Polish.
Yes.
One more that there's a possible, but I think so. I think Kiwior again will probably be quite obvious because he's playing in the team now.
Okay.
I'd say Fabianski might be a good shout.
Okay.
Who's the last one? I don't know. Should we say Fabianski or because I think Chesney was quite obviously an Arsenal player for a while. He was the first team goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Yes, he
was.
But
Fabianski was always a bit like a second choice. Maybe didn't play very much.
Yeah. When you read the names out, I will recognise the name I'm thinking of, but can't bring into my...
So Germanish player. Because there's a lot of crossover between
there is.
Germany and Poland in the national team. And Turkey as well, isn't it? There's a lot of Turkish-born.
Yes, there is. Yes, that's true.
İlkay Gündoğan, Mesut Özil, they've all got Turkish inheritance.
Yeah. Okay, put us
Should we say Fabianski?
Go
all
for
right,
it.
we're locking in Fabianski. Here we go.
Okay.
So, at the top, Wojciech Szczesny was 41.
Okay.
Oh, Fabianski's 39.
Okay.
Kiwior was 18. We should have gone for Kiwior.
Right.
That's annoying, I thought, because he was in the current team. And there was a pointless answer, Christian Bielik. I think he might play for Leeds or something now.
Does he?
Bielik.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's annoying. We should have gone for Kiwior. Anyway, so well, because Kiwior plays in the team now, I just thought more people would have said him. Anyway, okay. Well, I think we did quite well. So overall, 16 plus 7 is 23 plus 39 is 50. 62 we got out of a possible. Well, the maximum score would have been 300. I think 62 is all right.
That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah. So
Bobby Charlton gave
that was the one. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 62. Let us know in the comments how you did in Football Pointless. That was fun. I think we should bring that back as a little weekly segment at the start of the episode.
And we also have the guess the number of goals.
Guess the goals. Yeah. We'll get to that
as well.
We'll be prompted by the World Club Championship. I reckon. So briefly, then, Bob, explain to the wonderful listeners what the World Club Championship is, because this kind of does exist in real life, but also kind of doesn't. Right?
I invented it.
Okay.
No, but I mean, I did.
Yeah, because so the Club World Cup is a thing now, isn't it? And it has been for a while, but this is slightly different.
That's only sort of a semi-final and a final.
Yeah.
This is a full-scale, global World Club Championship.
Okay. This is something that you've completely invented. This doesn't exist in the real world.
They are now beginning on this. FIFA is looking to introduce it.
It's just because FIFA they're trying to squeeze everything, like every little available day in the calendar.
They need to come to me. I'll be
there you go. And so
consultant and advisor.
Well, I suppose the only difficulty of this happening in real life, though, is that it happens in the exact same year as a World Cup year, doesn't it? So this is in place of a World Cup.
This is in my mind in place of the World Cup.
Okay.
So then, even I am staggered by the depth of work and research that I would have put into making this happen.
Well, that's right. So in front of us,
because there are 8 groups.
Yeah, we've got a wodge of paper where Bob, back in 2010, I suppose, typed out the entire tournament.
Yes.
And so there are 8 groups. That's how deep it goes in. 8 groups of 4. So explain to me how you go about choosing the teams that go into the groups.
There are seedings. Okay, so I go to each of the leagues. I go around.
I love this.
I mean, the research that I put into this. So I go to every league in the world. Not just the major leagues. But every
So you
league.
go into like Africa, you go into South America.
That's the fridge, by the way.
Oh, right. I don't know whether you would have picked it up on the microphone.
You rang, sir. It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
I keep seeing Colby everywhere, by the way.
Oh,
Little flashes of Colby. I'm sure he's still here.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and the English league, so the teams are seeded. Mm-hmm. So North London, of course.
Top seed.
Because of their previous second seed. At this point, Barcelona. So they're at either end of the draw.
All right. So
North London is in Group 1.
Yeah.
with Internazionale from Brazil, Lyon from France, and LA Galaxy from the States.
Tough group.
Group 2, Inter Milan, Zenit St. Petersburg, as well as Sao Paulo. And 20 and
FC Twente. That's who Stephen McLaren managed for a bit.
That's right. Yeah.
When he develops a Dutch accent in that press conference.
Yes, he did. Didn't it? Oh, that was a classic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So Group 3, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
CSKA Moscow. Independiente, Colombia.
Yeah.
And
Shimizu. So
Shimizu.
the Japanese team. I guess.
Team.
Yeah.
Group 4, Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Argentinos Juniors.
Argentinos Juniors?
Yeah.
Is that Boca Juniors? Did they change their name?
No. They would have been prominent in the league in Argentina at that time. None of these are made up.
No,
So Dynamo Kiev and Benfica.
Okay.
Then Group 5,
Estudiantes. Yeah,
Estudiantes, thank you. Shakhtar Donetsk. Anderlecht. And Kaiser
Chiefs from South Africa. Do you remember Sifwe Shabalala? He scored the first goal of the South Africa World Cup. Was this the South Africa World Cup 2010?
I suppose it would have been.
Yeah, remember the opening goal he scored? Absolute banger.
Wow.
Anyway, he played for Kaiser Chiefs. Sifwe Shabalala. He was always a legend for me on FIFA. Yeah.
So Group 6.
So Palmeiras,
Chelsea.
Oh, and so they're a second seed team.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Sparta Prague.
Yeah.
And Marseille.
Okay.
Group 7.
Yeah.
Flamengo from Brazil.
Yes.
Man United.
Okay.
Ajax and Bursaspor
from Greece.
Bursaspor from Greece.
Yeah.
And then finally in Group 8, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Monterrey from Mexico.
It's where,
Rangers
where my
from Scotland.
sister-in-law lives in Monterrey.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Dinamo Zagreb.
So Rangers and Dynamo Zagreb.
You know, there's not really a bad team in there, is there?
No, there's not a lot of African contingents in this. Maybe they didn't meet the qualifying criteria in their league system, Bob, somehow. I don't know. Come on then, Bob. So, in terms of how the tournament then works.
Yes.
So I'm seeing in front of me here, there's a first group stage. So do the top 2 teams then go through to a second group?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it really is in depth.
There's 10 games for every team altogether. So our first match was against Lyon.
Yes.
2 goals for Torres.
Oh, nice.
1 for Weber. Torres scores 2 close-range goals from left wing crosses.
Yeah.
Weber adds 25-yard screamer. Yeah.
And so you would have been going mad as you were kicking the phone football around the house scoring that
And
goal.
the other...
And you keep track of other matches as well in the group.
Internationally 4-0 LA Galaxy.
Yeah.
So then we play LA Galaxy and beat them 2-0. Ozil
I love the
Pato.
notes. Ozil scores contender for goal of the tournament, 30 yards, bottom left corner.
Yeah.
Can you remember this goal?
Well, most of them I can actually, but they're all pretty. They're all quite similar because let's face it,
there's only so much you can do, I suppose, when you're trying to kick a phone football around the hallway.
So that would have been from way back into the table in the hall, the low, very low.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so Ozil and Pato.
Pato, very nice.
Yep.
And International drew 0-0 with Leon in the other game.
And then in the final game, Sam Toklub gets our only goal, beating International by 1-0.
So 3 wins
Leon,
from 3.
meanwhile, beat LA Galaxy 2-0.
This detail is unbelievable because then now, so you turn over the page and you've got the final group.
Yes.
Oh, it was tight. So you obviously have sailed through in first place, but International and Leon finish on the same amount of points, right?
And International goes through on goal difference.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just by +2.
Yep,
Jeez.
That's right.
So you and International are through to the second group stage. And
but then every other group, I map out the scores of every other group.
So how are you doing? You're not playing all these games, are you?
Are
you just imagining what's going on?
I imagine these.
You should have a football manager simulation going on.
I should.
By the way, before we came on, I mean, you can see where I take after Bob because I have got a football manager game going right now as Man United.
Yes.
And literally just as you walked in from copying these bits off, I've just won the Champions League with Man United in 2025.
Wow.
So... Ten Hag out, Miles in. Yeah.
Right.
Osimhen scored a hat-trick for me in the
Did he?
In the final.
He's just not quite cut it for North London. So Group 2 then finished with Inter Milan at the top of the group.
I can't believe the detail.
Sao Paulo second, Zenit third, and
Twente are out. So it's you and International and Inter and Sao Paulo through so far, right?
Then Real Madrid.
Oh yeah.
Who 1-2 drew 1.
Yeah.
Independiente.
Yeah, okay.
So they both beat Moscow.
And Shimizu.
Yep.
So Real Madrid and Independiente joining you in the next group stage as well.
Yes, and then Group 4,
Yeah.
Argentinos and Bayern Munich were the 2 qualifiers.
Yeah.
Group 5, Estudiantes with 100% record and scored 11 goals. They are the form team, actually.
So you're just literally, like, do you do research into these teams?
Yes.
And you're sort of like, you're scouting them, how they play, and then
yes,
you just...
absolutely.
When in your life would you be working out these results?
As I'm program building and working in the studio.
As you're actually doing real work.
The amount of work, Miles, that this represents.
I know.
I don't know how I managed to do it all.
No.
Anyway, Palmeiras and Chelsea.
Oh, so sorry. Estudiantes and Kaiser Chiefs go through from the previous group. And then so Palmeiras and Chelsea.
Chelsea only won one of their 3 games.
Yeah.
1-1, drew 2. With a 1 goal plus advantage. Yeah. They drew 0-0 with Marseille, beat Sparta Prague 2-1, and drew 0-0 with Palmeiras. So, but this is are we still in? We are still in.
Mourinho era. Yeah, it would
so
be,
their
defensive
focus is on defense.
Yeah.
But then
big score in the
Flamengo
in the other...
beat Bursaspor 7-0 in Group 7. So they topped the group. Man United came second, having lost to Flamengo, who again had one of the big form teams. And then the final group, Barcelona beat Rangers 5-0. And top the group, and Monterrey.
And Monterrey go through as well. Big
Only
up Monterrey.
just though, look.
Yeah, 1 draw, 1 loss, 1 win.
Yes.
So
now we're into the second group stage.
So how are the second groups drawn then? Just they're sort of mapped out between the
Group 1 against Group 8. So the leader of Group 1 against the runner-up of Group 8. And then you just follow that sequence into the middle.
Fine. Yeah. So you've been drawn against Bayern Munich, Sao Paulo, and Real Madrid. Bloody hell, what a group that is.
What a hell of a group that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Mind
mad group.
I mean, we sail through it.
Go on, tell me.
So we beat Bayern Munich 2-1, Torres and Villa. Brilliant first 20 minutes, I put. Create 5 good first half chances. Torres misses 3 headers.
Outrageous. So the headers are you crossing into the little buffet in the living room, right? And it's just gone wide at the table.
It's gone wide, yeah.
Jeez.
Bayern come into the game in the second half before 2 goals in 2 minutes.
Oh.
Gosh, that's from Torres and Villa.
The classic Spanish.
76 minutes substitutions. Mistake by Torre. Late Bayern goal creates pressure.
Mistake by Torre.
Yeah, but we get through 2-1.
But you hold out 2-1. Yeah. Okay, so as we're in the German region here, and I know that we were talking about Podolski earlier, Bob.
Yes.
Should we start off our Premier League goal scorers quiz today with Lucas Podolski for Arsenal? So if you haven't listened to this segment before, basically on the show, throughout the shows, we like to do this thing where we try to guess exactly how many Premier League goals a certain player scored in their career.
I'm so hopeless at this.
we normally play a best of 5, don't we?
And I've consistently pitched far too high.
Yeah. So if you're the closest to the real amount of goals, you get 1 point, and if you get it bang on, you get 3 points. And I think it's either 3-0 or 4-0 right now to me in terms of games won. So Bob's got some catching up to do.
3-0, Mars.
We'll go with 3. Yeah, fair. Okay, fine. So I've chosen the player. So you guess first.
Okay.
I guess.
So
Podolski.
Podolski. I'm going to go 57.
Okay.
Miles consistently pitches lower than me and is always right.
Yeah, I think you have got a bit high on this. Podolski, Premier League goals.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you going to say?
I'm going to say 28.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, so let's go on to the official Premier League website.
Right.
Lucas Podolski, 19 goals. 60 appearances, 19 goals, 11 assists. He was only actually at Arsenal for 3 seasons. And
well, that's what I thought. Being there 3 seasons, you'd expect him to score more goals than that.
Well, yeah, he scored 11 in his first season, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
In 33 appearances. Second season, 20 appearances, 8 goals. And his last season,
I'm so bad at this.
7 appearances, 0 goals. So there we are.
Yeah, so you win again.
1-0 to me in this episode, but it's a best of 5.
There's a Hot Chocolate song called "So You Win Again." That's your theme tune at the moment, Miles.
There we are. Well, you got time to come back. We'll resume the Premier League goal scorers quiz later in the episode. Well, the fourth official is holding up his board, and it looks like we're about to approach the half-time break, Bob. So we better hear from our sponsors.
Yeah, no injuries at half-time, so we'll be back after the half-time interval.
All right.
So then Real Madrid, as we were playing Bayern Munich, Real Madrid were playing Sao Paulo and drew 2-2.
Okay.
We then play, North London plays Sao Paulo and win 5-2.
5-2, look at that.
Hoffman from a corner, Weber, Villa.
And Bennett with 2.
And David Bennett with 2.
Bennett being your goal-scoring, marauding left-back, right?
Absolutely. Skillful Sao Paulo creates several first-half chances. Even game until Weber goal. And the Weber goal was on 43
Weber comes up
minutes.
with some big goals for you from defensive midfield.
3 brilliant long-range second-half strikes give North London control.
And 2 of those would have been Bennett.
Bennett.
Was he a bit of a long-range merchant?
Yes, he was.
David Bennett?
Yeah, left foot.
Just,
really good left
smashing
foot.
a bit of Roberto Carlos vibes. John Arne Riise. He'd be a good one for the Premier League goals quiz.
Yeah, okay.
We'll come back to that. Stay tuned and we'll see how many Premier League goals John Arne Riise got in his time.
Yeah, how badly I did it wrong. And then Real Madrid beat Bayern Munich 2-0.
Okay. So Bayern Munich haven't started well. They've 2 losses.
No,
so
that's right.
It looks like they're going out.
So it's us now against Real Madrid.
Yep.
And we beat them 3-1.
I mean North London are they're walking it.
We are storming through this. So we've played 6 games undefeated.
Yeah.
We've scored a shed load of goals.
Yeah, a lot of goals, isn't it? So you scored 10 in the second group stage.
Yes.
And so it's 10 in 3 games, isn't it? In the second group stage.
And there are so many
so many pieces of paper.
16 goals.
Wow. So 26 goals in 6 games. This is so far.
16 goals in 6 games.
Did you score 6 in the?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. 16 goals.
So
there you go.
Against world-class opposition, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the best of the best. The creme de la creme.
That's just under 3.
So you are through, as are Real Madrid.
Yeah,
and
then you go through the other Inter.
Oh yeah, but of course there are still the other group stages. Wow.
Inter drew 1-1 with Argentinos.
Okay.
Internacional beat Independiente 3-0.
There's lots of ins in this group.
Yeah.
International and Independiente.
Yeah. Anyway, we finished up with Inter winning the group, with Internacional second, Independiente with third.
That's such a confusing group of team names, isn't
it? Yes, it was. So then...
All right, so Inter and Internacional are through.
Group 3.
Yeah.
Estudiantes through.
And so Estudiantes, Flamengo, Chelsea and Monterrey. So Chelsea and Monterrey are out.
Yes, they
Goodness
are.
Me.
They beat Monterrey, but they lost to Flamengo and they lost to Estudiantes.
Wow.
And in the 4th group, Manchester United are through, having beaten Kaiser Chiefs, drawn with Palmeiras, and beaten Barcelona 1-0.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. So United and Barcelona. Oh no, is it just the top team that goes through then?
Well, yeah.
Of these? I see. That does make sense. All right. So also I've been misreading. So in which case only Inter Milan are through from that group. So it's in terms of the teams that have gone through then, obviously we've got North London.
Yeah, Estudiantes.
Inter
and Man United.
Okay, fine. So the semi-finals. So essentially, you go straight to a semi-finals after the group stage. Interesting. Wow.
Yes.
It's definitely unlike any other tournament ever, isn't it? This.
Yes.
All right. So it's North London, Estudiantes in one semi-final, Inter Milan, Man United in the other, Bob. Before we get to it,
okay.
Why don't you choose another Premier League goal scorer for our quiz?
We just did, didn't we?
Are we going to go with Riise?
Yeah, let's go with Riise.
Yeah? Okay. So...
I'm going to go 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? This is so funny because I'm
going to go 138.
I think you might have gone too low on this one. I think Riise... I think Riise might have scored... I'm just going to go for a flat 20.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
John Arne Riise. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
John Arne Riise in his time during the Premier League scored 21! I think I've found my true talent in life, and it's guessing how many Premier League goals people have scored.
This is extraordinary. You only needed 1, didn't you? And you'd got 3 points.
I know. That's happened so many times. I've got 1 away a lot. Anyway, so that makes it 2-0.
As Ken Bruce used to say, you're 1 goal out.
1 goal out, yeah. We should get T-shirts of that one. That'd be good.
Yeah.
1 goal out. Yeah. Anyway, 321 appearances, 21 goals, 30 assists. Kept 99 clean sheets in his time. Yeah, so his best scoring season was his first ever in English football. Actually, he got 7 in his first season for Liverpool.
Well, I don't know. I was right on the season.
I don't think we're going to get points for that.
Could I have a bonus sort of half or something?
I don't know. Well, maybe not.
No.
But anyway, so that makes it 2-0.
It's ruthless, Miles.
So sorry about that. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll resume the Premier League goal scorers quiz after we find out what's happened. So semi-final time, Bob.
Semi-final
the Club
time.
World Championship. And it's the
Inter Milan against Man United.
Yeah.
North London
Estudiantes.
against Estudiantes.
Does the World Club Championship take place in a certain country each time? Where would this be taking place, this tournament?
Wherever the World Cup took place in 2010, wherever that was.
I think it was South Africa, but I'm just going to double check. 2010 World Cup. South Africa, yeah,
South
it was.
Africa, yes.
So Kaiser Chiefs were in there because it would have been, they would have been the host.
They would have been
of
the host
of the tournament, I suppose.
Yes, they would. So Estudiantes then.
Yes.
Total control of...
Yeah, these are the notes, are they?
These are the notes. Shall I give you the lineup as well? We haven't looked at the lineup so much, have we?
So as you go through this, Bob, because obviously this is it's going to be a bit shorter than going through a whole Premier League season, so we've probably got time to expand on the players in the team. So as you go, I'll tell you what, I'll read out the names in the team.
Yeah.
Tell the audience who these players are, because some of them are not actually footballers.
No, true.
The first one of which
like
being
your good self.
Being me. I play in goal in the team.
Yeah.
So you've got Bedwell at right back.
Lee Bedwell.
Yes, and so who was he?
Well, he was a school chum of yours.
I think it was in Dylan's year. My younger
year.
brother Dylan, it was in his year. No, and we've touched this on the podcast before because he did go on to play football at a decent level as a goalkeeper.
Did he go to Reading?
I think he was at Swindon.
Oh, okay.
And I think he still does play in the lower leagues, but he actually did, fairly well.
Yeah.
But he was a goalkeeper, and your team is a right back, which is interesting. So he's at right back.
Andrade,
and he is a real footballer, I assume. Can you remember who he was? He played for Porto.
Yes.
2000, 2007. He was at Deportivo La Coruña.
Yes.
For 5 years as well.
Okay.
So Portuguese centre back.
Yes.
Did he play any? Yeah, he played 51 games for the Portuguese national team.
Yeah.
So pretty good in his time.
And then you've got Freddie Haynes.
And who is Freddie Haynes? Well, if you're a long-term listener of the podcast, you'll know exactly who Freddie Haynes is because he's probably one of the bigger legends of the North London world. He's still quite young in this season, though, isn't he? He's still 19 probably at this moment in time, 20.
Yeah, about that.
In 2010.
Yeah.
So who is Freddie Haynes? For those who don't know.
Well, he was in Dylan's school in Wantage. The five-a-side team just won everything. It was one of those things. It was like a golden generation. The class of 90, whatever it was.
It says 2004, doesn't it?
The class of 2004.
So behind us in the podcast studio, there's a couple of trophies, and this one was for Dylan's. This is my younger brother Dylan when he was in primary school. They won the Vale of White Horse indoor five-a-side tournament.
Yeah, they were winning everything. That one year, they won everything. All the local
I was going to say that must be a county-wide thing.
Yeah,
Vale of White Horse, isn't it?
And Freddie Haynes was the centre-back in that lineup.
And so he graduated.
And I morphed him into North London, where he became a really incredible attacking centre-back. Because this was one of my big tactical innovations, and attacking centre-back. You don't see attacking centre-backs. And I basically...
Not so much, I guess,
You don't, do you?
No.
John Stones would probably be...
Yeah, I guess, but even he,
close.
you wouldn't say he's a particularly goal-scoring, assist-making threat.
Freddie Haynes was a marauding, long-range shooting,
I'm trying to think
goal-scoring
of players who did have that in their locker in their time. Maybe somebody like Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hierro. Do you remember Hierro for Real Madrid?
Yes, I do. He played for me for a little while. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Because
and Franz Beckenbauer.
Yeah, well, Beckenbauer was the sort of template. But in terms of more modern players, because Ronald Koeman, he's up there with the most high scoring defenders ever, right? Because he scored loads of free kicks for Barcelona, didn't he?
Yeah, he was really good at free kicks. And for Holland.
Absolutely battered them in.
Yeah.
So that's
left back.
Yeah. So left back is Bennett.
David Bennett.
Who we've touched on. He scored 2 goals.
Same with Freddie Haynes. They were both in the same sort of... actually, David Bennett was the next sort of team, the next year.
You got your scouts in there early, I see.
Yeah. And Dylan and I were watching kind of the next generation.
Right.
And he was playing left back, and I said to Dylan,
he was the one
I'm going to sign him.
So 3 of the back 4 in the semi-final of the World Club Championship are graduates from Hanny C of E Primary School.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so then moving forward.
They've come through the academy.
The La Masia at the Hanny School must be churning out there. So then in midfield, you've got Webber.
Yeah, Jake Webber.
Defensive mid.
Yeah,
So who is Jake Webber?
Well, Jake Webber is the son of Roy Webber, who was the lead singer of the band Wally that me and Rick Wakeman produced in the 70s.
Yeah.
And Jake played local football for a youth team in Leeds.
Yeah.
So that qualified
Very
him
good, very
immediately.
good. Obviously, you got Mesut Ozil playing from the right-hand side in this team, which is interesting.
Riquelme.
Juan Roman
My
Riquelme.
man,
Yeah.
Riquelme.
Yeah.
But he got injured in this.
Oh, he did?
He was replaced at halftime by Pato. And then Dylan was on the left wing.
So this is my younger brother Dylan again from. So that's another Hanny Academy graduate. That's 4 in the first team.
You see, we like bringing the academy players through. Into
speaking of that, Toe Club up front is also a youth academy graduate, right? My goodness me!
And then David Villa.
I wouldn't say this is like a. Oh well, I was going to say it wasn't a full strength team, but actually in the injured list underneath all this, Torres is injured, and so is Booker.
Yes,
yet another Handy Academy graduate. Doug's my oldest mate, and we played in the football team at school as well.
And he is now North London's manager
in the present day.
Day.
So anyway, so that's the team.
Or co-manager. I mean, we basically kind of do.
Oh, it's like it's like a joint thing.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, he leans on my experience.
I see. Yeah. So you haven't yet moved completely upstairs, then?
No, I haven't.
You still?
I just can't completely let go.
Are you still on the touchline at matches and everything like that?
Sometimes.
Well, there you go. Doug's probably like, piss off, mate. I'm trying to do my thing.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so semi-final time then, Bob. That is the lineup.
Okay.
We've had the backgrounds of the players.
Yeah.
How is it going?
Total control of first half against top opponents.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay. Ozil experiment works.
Oh, that's why he's on the right.
That's why he's on the right.
And it works. Okay.
But Riquelme thigh injury leads to half-time change.
How would Riquelme have injured his thigh then, Bob?
Well, I would have probably knocked myself on the sofa.
Yeah, horrible injury for Riquelme.
Or stubbed my toe or done something.
It does say thigh injury though, doesn't
thigh
it?
injury,
So maybe it was you knocked it. Table, wasn't it?
So
right.
I describe this as being the best performance since 6-0 win against River Plate in 2002.
You remember back that far, do you? Is this best performance overall or just in the World Club Championship?
I think probably in the World Club Championship.
I mean,
best. So the final score, 5-1.
Wow.
David Villa, then an own goal, then Riquelme. So presumably he got his thigh injury scoring the goal.
Oh, interesting.
It's right on 45 minutes.
Maybe you slid in and collided with the post on the way through.
or I might have tripped over the buffet.
Well, it was worth it then if he gets his goal.
No,
and then a double from Toe Club.
Stand 56th and 69th minute.
Wow.
Estudiantes get a consolation goal in the 81st
So there you go. So you're in the final.
Yeah, and against Inter Milan because they beat Man United 1-0.
So the Inter Milan team around this time, I'm just going to look it up because it's not. Is it not? It's not quite. Jose hasn't gone there yet, has he? And to win the Champions League.
No, he hasn't actually.
So this is 2010. I want to have a look at this because I bet you they've got some absolute legends in the team here.
Yeah,
it does say Jose Mourinho at this point. 2010.
Oh, okay.
So he must have been there. So you got Julio Cesar in goal, Javier Zanetti, Lucio, Maicon, Materazzi, Samuel, Kivu. What a team.
I mean,
Dejan Stankovic, Thiago Motta, Schneider, of course, is in there.
Yes.
Montari. Do you remember Sully Montari?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he's a good one for the Premier League goal scorers quiz.
Is he? Oh,
well, no, okay. It's your turn to choose.
Oh, is it? Right.
Cambiasso, Quaresma's in there, Eto'o, Milito. Yeah, is that team?
Yeah.
Milito, Pandev, Balotelli, Arnautovic, I forgot as well.
Balotelli?
Yeah.
Why is it always me?
Why always me? Yeah. Have you seen the video of him online recently where I think he's playing in a second division team in Italy and there's some training drill. Basically, he stood with his back to a defender and there are 2 mini goals either side and he gets fizzed the ball in and he's just backheeling it between the goals and the defender can't do anything. It's absolutely genius.
Wow.
He's so talented. He's just a bit of a lunatic, isn't he?
Yeah. I think looking back at it, actually now, I must be honest, I think I let Ronaldinho go too early.
I think you did too.
I think I was being stubborn. It was a bit like...
you only had him for half a season.
I know. It was a bit like Sir Alex Ferguson letting Jaap Stam go. There's always one you really regret, and that's my regret.
You regret Ronaldinho. Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So before we go into the final then, Bob, because it's a hotly anticipated game. So you are playing Inter Milan in the final.
Okay, it goes to extra time.
Does it? Okay, hold that thought. Choose yourself a Premier League player to do the goal scoring quiz with, Bob, before we go into it.
Oh, right. Let me have a think now.
Okay,
Juan Mata.
Mata, lovely player.
Yes.
I think it's actually a real shame that Mata played for United at the time he did, because I think he was far better than the squad that he came into.
Yes.
Brilliant for Chelsea.
But you can say that about pretty much every player in every Man United squad since Sir Alex.
But I think at least Mata did consistently play well for us.
And he was a lovely guy and was very elegant. And well,
nice player.
You
so
to
I'm going to
choose.
guess. So I think he scored a fair few in his time. I'm going to go with 63.
I'm going to go with 51.
Okay. Juan Mata.
Juan Mata.
Play along at home, guys. How many goals do you think Juan Mata scored in the Premier League?
If you get this as well, I'm just going to...
Bob.
No.
52.
Oh, wow. So I was 1 out.
You were 1 out this time.
Yeah.
So you get yourself a point. 52 goals, 54
goal out.
assists. Yeah. That's where we both had that this episode. So you've drawn a point back.
Yes, I have.
This is good.
So wait, what's the score now then?
2-1 to me in this round. So
and there's still 2 more to go.
Yeah,
so I could rescue this.
You could indeed.
From the mouth, the jaws of defeat.
Yeah. What was his best scoring season? He scored 12 for Chelsea in 2012-13.
Yeah.
But never got double figures after that. Or before it, to be fair. So, but lovely player, Juan Mata. I used to really enjoy him. Scored a couple of great goals. Do you remember that bicycle kick goal he scored against Liverpool?
Yes, I do.
Wow, what a goal that was.
Yeah.
52 goals, 54 assists in 278 games for Juan Mata through his career. Anyway, back
What-
to business.
what
The
a
World
hell of
Club
a-
Championship final. So,
This
Bob,
is one
North
hell
London
of a game.
into Milan. So, let's look through the team then.
Yeah.
So I'm in goal.
Yeah.
It's looking like a similar lineup
It's
to the
almost
last game.
identical.
But you brought in Mats Hummels into midfield for this,
have,
which is interesting.
as one of the 2 holding players.
Yeah.
So it's gone back to a 4-2-3-1, which is always my
Your
preferred lineup, to
Yeah.
be absolutely honest.
Yeah.
And I risk Riquelme, despite his
Having
injury.
that injury in the last
he is
game.
so important to this team that I decided I'm going to play him and play him for as long as he can.
So he obviously plays in the sort of number 10 role, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Just creating...
Yeah, and he wears the number 10.
Making things tick.
Yeah.
All right then, Bob. So let's see what happens then.
Okay, so Ozil open scoring with goal of the tournament.
Oh! What a time to...
30-yard curling right foot shot into top left-hand corner.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
So it would have,
like bent
'cause
away from the
I could
goalkeeper as he's-
really get that ball to bend in those days.
I love that.
I have to say already that it went, okay, so the match goes to extra time.
Yes.
So, but Inter gain control either side of half-time and equalise with final kick of normal time.
Wow. So looking at so Ozil scored the first goal in the 24th minute.
Yep.
Inter reply in the 43rd.
Yep.
Ozil scores again in the 76th. And then, the 90th minute, Inter equalise.
So that takes it into extra time.
Right.
And Inter take the lead 4 minutes into extra time.
Wow, okay. But then what?
Exhausted North London team
Yeah.
lift game to win 4th
Oh,
title.
yes.
So the 1982, 1994, 2002,
1982.
and now 2010. That was when that started to roll off in Italy.
I see.
When I was playing in the tennis court.
There was a big barren period of 12 years in between that.
I know.
They didn't win. But so what happens then? So 94th minute, obviously, Inter score.
Yeah.
Tote Glove in the 102nd minute equalises.
And Pato gets the winner.
Who comes on for Riquelme.
Absolute
to get
wild
the winning goal.
scenes.
Oh, my goodness me.
Riquelme lasts until the 68th minute.
Yeah.
But then...
So when Pato comes on, I assume you go to a two up front, don't you?
Yes.
Wow. There you go.
17 goals in the last 4 games.
And 4-3, the final score. North London lift the World Club
So
Championship.
look at this.
Wow.
8 matches, 8 wins, 25 goals scored, 10 goals scored against.
Wow.
Top scorer, well, there were 3. Torres, Villa and Tote Glove all got 4.
All 3 of your main strikers. It's a bit like the Man United 98-99 team, isn't it? Having that many strikers that can score goals.
Yes, and obviously the games are distributed throughout the team, aren't they? Because Ozil got 3.
Yeah.
Weber, Bennett, Pato all got 2.
Yeah.
Hofland, Haynes, Riquelme, and own goal got 1.
A cheeky own goal.
Yeah, cheeky own goal.
There you go.
So there we are.
You lift the 2010 World Club Championship up. You've also got the World Club Championship overall top scorers.
Yes.
Through the history of North London.
Up until this point.
Up until 2010. Eric Cantona.
Yes.
And again, this might need some explanation. Wes Dexter.
Wes Dexter. Wes is the son of one of the... Jeff Dexter, who was a great DJ in the 60s. He was one of the people who organised the Isle of Wight Festival. He was the one counting out $78,000 in quid notes or something.
Wow.
Out of a suitcase to Bob Dylan in 68.
No way, really? Oh my God. That's fun.
And he used to be the DJ at an incredible club called Middle Earth that I used to go to in 67. Summer of Love, man. And,
named after the Lord of the Rings?
I guess so. And also Implosion. There was an event called Implosion.
Okay.
Yeah, in a little club in Tottenham Court Road. And then it all moved to the Roundhouse. And it was Jeff who got the original acetates of Paul McCartney songs for Sgt. Pepper.
Really?
And he let the underground, us know that he was going to do this little playback of these songs
my God, wow.
weeks before the album came out. So we all gathered at the Roundhouse, which is not then what it is now.
Oh, really? What
I mean, it was a dusty...
was it still like as
It was
big?
still like it was as big,
Yeah.
but it used to be an engine turning place.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It was still like that, basically. They hadn't really cleaned the soot
I quite like
out
that.
of it. And there was one bare light bulb. He bought a record player, and we all sat around this record player.
Wow, smoking weed probably, right?
Probably. Going, wow, man, this is just good. So when we got to the end of it...
Still had the big beams and stuff down the middle.
Yeah,
and
no. It was just, it was so dingy and... But magical. When we used to have the happenings there in the 60s, they used to brighten the walls by focusing liquid light shows.
Oh, you
on
told
them,
me this before,
and
actually,
black and white films without sound. And,
Wow.
Pink Floyd played there. The Stones played there. Jefferson Airplane and the Doors. And
Oh, my God.
these legendary groups.
Yeah.
And, of course, when we did the tribute to Jim Capaldi, Traffic, 2007. Do you remember?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
Pete Townsend came up to me as we arrived, and I saw him making a beeline for me. And whenever I used to see Pete Townsend in the 70s, like around Whistle Test and stuff, he always used to be, he was a bit obnoxious.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember walking through a corridor at the backstage at the Roundhouse and him tripping me up. And he was
I've got a bit of time for that, to be fair.
Yeah. He got very drunk one night and extremely kind of aggressive at a place called Morton's, if I remember.
Okay.
God, this really is delving into my... Anyway, so he came on to Whistle Test, and this is still on YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
An interview that we did together with Ronnie Lane at the time that Ronnie Lane's solo album came out, because Ronnie Lane was in the Faces and Pete Townsend produced his solo album.
Right.
Now, I've seen it on YouTube, and I think it's quite funny, actually, and I'm clearly enjoying it.
Yeah.
But Pete Townsend at the Roundhouse is making an absolute beeline for me.
Yeah.
And I say, hi, Pete, I'm wondering what on earth he's going to say. And he looks at me, he said, I'm really sorry.
Oh.
I said, okay, what, for everything, for being kind of obnoxious in the 70s with you. He said, I saw the interview with Ronnie Lane, and he said, I was so rude. I said, were you? He said, yeah, but anyway, I just want to apologize for everything.
Oh, there you go.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's
quite nice.
When you go into sort of rehab type.
I'm thinking of
the first thing you do is apologize to everybody for your behavior.
Yeah.
So,
I'm thinking of this. What was it called? This show it used to be on Channel 4. Something Earl. Oh no, this is going to really annoy me. Anyway, the whole thing was he was a right dick through his life, and he made a point of then going out and apologising.
Yeah. So I was appreciative of the fact that Pete died. And anyway, as I say, if you look that up on YouTube, I think it's quite
My
funny.
Name is Earl. That's what
My
it is.
Name is Earl.
Yeah, reminds me of that.
Have you seen this clip?
No.
Where he's messing around, and it's really actually very funny.
Yeah.
Just while we're talking, just go OGWT, Bob Harris, Pete Townsend,
Okay.
and it'll come up.
I'll tell you what, whilst we're doing this as well, you can...
I can pick... it's your turn to pick a player.
Well, no, I picked the first two. So,
did you? I picked...
Well, no, because I did Reese
I see.
And Podolsky.
Oh, okay.
You've done Matter, so you go for one more.
So I'm going to go with John Fashanu.
John Fashanu.
Now, he was one of the crazy gang with Wimbledon.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and I think he played for... He might have gone to Norwich City.
John Fashanu. Yeah,
John
I definitely
Fashanu.
recognise his name from punditry.
Yeah.
And so he was a striker.
Yes, he was.
All right. Fashanu.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'm going to go 24.
I'm going to go 36.
Okay, John Fashanu. Here he is. John Fashanu scored 20.
What did you say?
I said 24, I think. So
Oh
I was
my
pretty
goodness.
close.
Well, that was pretty
So
close.
78 games, 20 goals, 6 assists. His best season for Wimbledon, he got 11 goals. Wimbledon and Aston Villa he played for, apparently.
Ah, okay.
So that makes it 3-1. So John Fashanu, 20 on the nose.
20
Premier League
on
goals.
the nose.
So
So 3-1. So you've won this.
Well, unless
What?
unless you get a bang on the final one,
final
which we'll come to. But
Yeah,
here's
okay.
this Pete Townsend interview, Bob. I found it on YouTube.
Oh, look at this. Yeah. This is the theme tune
Yeah.
for the Old Grey Whistle Test. Yeah. It's by Area Code 615. And it's called Stone Fox
It's
Chase.
such a simple thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's maximum of 3 instruments being played
Yeah,
here, isn't it?
that's right.
got the-
And Charlie McCoy, who's the harmonica player, has played on many, many great records through the
Okay,
years.
well, it's good to see that as the albums
There you
from
go, Bob.
Oh, there we are.
Each of
There's me.
releases, Rough Mix is one LP to have got almost unanimously good reviews. It was made by our guests tonight, Pete Townsend.
There they are, look, the boys.
So he's on the right.
So
right?
he's Pete Townsend.
We're actually on the air now.
You're actually on the air, Pete, yes. And
Hey, Bob, you're wearing some pretty
I did,
fashionable
listen, I-
Adidas Gazelles
I was
there.
a fashion icon. Seriously.
Honestly, flares and Adidas Gazelles. You're
I got them
very
in
on brand
America.
right now.
I got them in America. I got them in Miami, in fact.
This outfit, you'd look perfectly good walking
I
down
know.
Soho now in that.
But this is so funny.
Yeah.
It's Max Wall all over again. Well, it is. They cut him off,
What's he on?
blacked him out. Yeah, 10 years, wasn't it? It's happening again. Making history, folks.
Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane talking very loosely of Rough Mix.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so there we are then. Pete Townsend and Ronnie Lane and me back in the day, Miles.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have one final Premier League goal scorer to pick, don't we?
Another moment of humiliation.
No, if you can get it bang on,
Okay.
then
Okay.
a comeback is on here. Right, Bob, I'll tell you what, let's get on. So we've got your Club World Championship all-time
Yes.
top scorers.
Yes.
Just pick out a name who's played in the Premier League from these.
Okay.
So obviously we've got Cantona
Yes.
in first place and Dexter. Then joint third, I suppose, Kaká and Ian Giggs. Then you've got Ben Harris
Yeah.
and Zidane and own goals on 6.
Yes.
Fonseca on 5. Laudrup, Yakin, Larson, Torres, Villa and Tokolov all on 4. Klinsmann. Yeah, you had Klinsmann for a bit, did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Jurgen Klinsmann.
Yeah.
Who was it that did? They did a Klinsmann slide in celebration the other day. Can't remember now. Because you remember when he did that? Was he accused of diving or something?
He dived
and he
and
dived
put
in
his-
front of the.
Yes, he did, didn't he? Like
the
this.
staff.
Yes.
Yeah, that was funny. Kanchelskis. Do you remember Andrei Kanchelskis?
I do.
Was he?
Of course
He
I
was
do.
Russian, right?
He was Russian, yeah.
Yeah, good player for United. he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Figo, Aymar, Dylan Harrison.
He looks
Ozil.
like a gangster these days.
Does
Have you
he?
seen him? Yeah,
No.
yeah, he does.
No, but he was the early United teams that started winning the Premier League. He was part of those teams, wasn't
Yes,
he?
he
Kanchelskis?
was. And that's before I imposed the rule that they can't be playing for another team.
So this wasn't
Yeah.
This wasn't Dimitri Kanchelskis that you'd invented his twin brother. That was actually.
That's right. That's right. It was him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. So do you want
Okay.
to choose any of those to do a Premier League goal scorer? As
Well,
well?
I think we should choose somebody a bit more up to date.
Okay.
So who shall we? You choose, Miles.
All right. Well, should we choose somebody that's playing in the Premier League now?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's think then. What about somebody who? Well, as it's United Arsenal. Or it
Yes.
would have been actually by the time this goes out.
Yes.
Maybe one of those players. Why don't we go with? What about Gabriel Jesus?
Good one. That's a very good shout.
All right.
Okay.
Because he hasn't scored a lot of goals this season.
No, he hasn't.
But, he's been in league-winning City teams up until now, hasn't he?
I'm going to go 68.
Ooh, 68. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to go 52.
I was like a goon then.
Okay, ready, Bob?
Yeah, go on.
Gabriel Jesus has scored 73.
So, wait a minute, how many did I say? 68?
But whatever it was, but so you
Whatever it
so
was,
you
so
get
I'm
1
the
point.
nearest.
So it's a consolation. So
It's
so it ends 3-2 to me.
3-2.
But
But I still
some
lost.
dignity. You did still lose.
So
But
it's now 4-0 to you, Miles.
it is. He's scored more than I thought. 73.
yeah.
210 appearances, 73 goals and 40 assists.
Yeah.
His best season was for City 2019-20, where he scored 14.
Yeah.
Interesting that.
Yes.
He's actually been around for longer than you think. His
Yeah.
first season was 2016-17. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons. So yeah,
He doesn't look right now for Arsenal, does he?
No, he doesn't a bit. It's weird.
Because Arsenal is so progressive as a tactical team, aren't they?
He's brilliant though. His close control is amazing, but as a striker, I feel like
They
he should be
need a
finishing
number
more.
9, Arsenal, to complete them.
Yeah, a real absolute.
Just
goal
imagine
scorer.
if you put Erling Haaland in that Arsenal team, that would be it then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They'd win everything.
I think there's been a lot of talk of them signing somebody like Ivan Toney, or I think actually Osimhen would be a good signing for Arsenal.
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
They could buy him off me. I'm going to charge them loads and loads of money.
Well, in real life, he hasn't had such a good season for Napoli this year. After they won the league
he just
last year.
hasn't
To be
quite...
fair, him and Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian guy, the left winger, who both were brilliant for them last year, winning the Serie A. They've both gone off the ball a bit for Napoli this year, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Premier League goal scorers quiz finishes 3-2 to me.
Yes, everything.
So let us know how you did at home as well in the comments. But that's about it then, Bob. So what are you up to between now and next week?
I'm going to take a little break.
Go for it.
I am.
You're off to
Well,
Italy,
we've been doing so much touring, you know.
Yeah.
And we've still got a gig to do at a literary festival up north. And it's quite close to Scarborough.
Scarborough.
So I'm going to go and visit Scarborough. I'm going to take my bucket and spade and my water wings, Miles, and have a look at the muddy North Sea.
There you go. Well, so we're actually recording this a bit earlier than normal. So in between this and the next recording, I'm going to be shooting the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley on Sunday, which Man United are playing in against Tottenham Hotspur. I think we're favourites, to be honest, because I think Spurs actually in the WSL are kind of mid-table this year and United are towards the top. So I'm hoping for a United win. Keep my run going, Bob. Stretching now to 20, by the way, because when I went to shoot the snooker, although I was neutral, I'd shot Karen Wilson, who won the Snooker World Championship before.
Right.
And I took a liking to him, so I was like, I quite like him to win. And he did.
Yeah. So 20.
So 20 in a row, Bob, without loss.
And how many? 4 here.
Yeah, I know. I've got a good run going on.
You are unbeatable. Yeah.
There you go. Amazing. Well, thank you, Father. Thanks, everybody, for listening and
watching.
Thank
you very
much. Rate us 5 stars and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube.
Thanks to the team, as always.
Yeah, thanks to everybody behind the scenes.
The socials that are going out around the podcast now are just... They are fabulous.
Yeah, go give us a follow.
And that's the team that are doing those. So thank you very much.
Indeed. At A Game of No Halves across all social media. We also do a poll every Friday on our Instagram to do with football. So go and get involved in those. But otherwise, until next time, I suppose this is goodbye. Any parting words from you, Bob?
Well, yes, goodbye.